to another Minecraft Conquest Reforged video. Kinder Knight here, and once again we are back on the map of Yarwin, but I like to call it the continent of Colossia, and we are doing some more world building with this new castle here. And now the idea behind this castle here is that this castle was one of many castles that was owned by the treasonous lord who played a part in the murder of Lord Lindis, the father to the current lord of Lindiscliff Castle and head of all Lindis estates. After his conviction and execution for his crimes and the role he played in the murder, all of his castles, including this one, Castle White, and all of his holdings were then seized and divided amongst the Lord Tofton of Roostenshire, as well as other loyal allies and vassals to the Lindis dynasty, by order of the king. Having acquired the Castle White, Lord Tofton then appointed a lesser lord who loyally served for many years as a knight in his service to a lordship, which he was rewarded with Castle White as his family's first castle, and given a small fief with an income as a reward for his duties served in helping to squash the complete coup on the Lindis family. With Castle White now falling under the control of a new family, its new lords not yet being able to afford the very expensive replastering work which reflects its name, the newly installed lords then decided to give the castle a new name, on which they decided to call it Knightly Castle, a name that pays homage to their knightly background and social standing. And there you guys go, a bit of background on this castle. I know it was a lot, but I really wanted to give you guys something and really try to tie this castle into the world and into the lore that I got going here. But from here guys, I'm gonna go ahead and zip it and finish out the time lapse, and I'll be back afterwards to give you guys a tour of the Inner Bailey. So I hope you guys can sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, and we're back. And just for any of you guys wondering, I am using a different shader from what you guys seen in the time lapse. I am using a sus renewed shader, and it makes everything look so much more beautiful, and I wish I used it a little earlier, but better late than never, I guess. But anyways, here we are, hovering outside the front of Castle White, aka Knightly Castle, and I have to say, it came out marvelous. I designed it based off of an inspired image that I came across while I was on the web, and I thought it'd be really cool to build something like it and add it to my world, but of course with my own twists and details. And if you guys just take a second just to look at it, like this shader, man, it really just enhances it. I'm really happy, extremely happy with how it turned out. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this place and let you check it out. We're only gonna have the tour of the Inner Bailey in this video, so it doesn't go on for too long. Then I'll have a part 2 of the castle interiors. But before we get started, I want to show you guys something real quick. Just a little something I added. I thought was kind of funny. Kind of like a little Easter egg, I guess. Right here, if we go in, right up under these garderows, we see we have these piles of what appears to be poop with flies, and as you see, it's how the garderows work, where you'll sit and they'll poop and it'll fall right down here, and the flies will gather around that little part. Just a little something I want to show you guys. I thought it was kind of funny, a little detail. It's always fun to add little details like that to your builds. It really helps in creating that story. And now, as always, we start our tour from the causeway, or from this long bridge, wooden bridge. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way up to the top. And as we approach the top, we see a big banner hanging with our castle's colors right there. And then we have sort of like a coat of arms banner right here, as well as our drawbridge with its chains and pieces sticking out right here. I don't know what these things are called. I forget what they're called, the wooden beams, but we have that there. And then we have our portcullis, of course. And now this is a very simple castle with simple defenses, but we do have murder holes right there. And now as we approach and we enter into the inner courtyard, or the Inner Bailey, you guys start to notice is that there is lots of going-ons here. I really do my best in trying to design these things in a way where they're, again, always practical and it makes sense. And also it just kind of feels like there's actual life going on here. And so I like to have a little bit of fun with the design and add things I feel that a castle would need in its inner courtyard. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way up these stairs right here. And one thing you guys will notice when touring this castle is, at least the Bailey for example, that there'll be lots of these barrels with arrows and spears around, because our castle are always ready for an attack. And if we come right here, we have 2 arrow slits, are really our only arrow slits in our castle as far as the front is concerned. Was it an overlooking design? Who knows? Maybe our lord just didn't feel that it was necessary to have too many arrow slits around the castle. But now we come into the gatehouse where our portcullis is located. And as you see, we have this big box of stones where we can dump them down on the murder holes. We have some spears and some arrows where we can shoot them and throw them down to anyone who is unlucky enough to be stuck under those murder holes there. And we also have this brazier here where we can light our arrows or maybe our spears as well too. Just light it right there, and then we can just shoot them down on whoever is unlucky enough to get hit in those murder holes with those arrows and spears. And then we have this little window where we can outlook and see who's approaching the castle from that direction. And so that's pretty much it for this level. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make our way up this stair. And now we come to the top of our gatehouse here. And as you see, we have our drawbridge mechanism here. Again, very simple design where we have the counterweight in the middle, and we have these big chains that are connected to like wheels where we can turn the wheel to either lower the drawbridge or even raise the drawbridge. Again, very simple design. Matter of fact, I forgot to actually add a portcullis mechanism, so I guess I'll have to go back and add that. I don't know how I actually forgot to add that, but you know, we all make mistakes. So we're gonna go ahead and walk the battlements, and as you see, we have pretty good range of sight, our range of view out here. And again, we have these braziers here along with, you know, these barrels of arrows, because again, if this castle is being under siege and they're using siege weapons or maybe a trebuchet or maybe a siege tower, you know, I would guess our guards can just grab an arrow, light their arrows, and shoot them at those wooden structures to set them afire, or maybe even if just set the grass on fire around the castle, so you know, to kind of stop the approaching of an enemy army that's trying to attack the castle. So you know, we have these braziers set up on different intervals around the wall, so you know, our archers have plenty of ammunition. and they don't have to run around to find a brazier to light their arrows if they needed to. And then over here we have another banner that's hanging. But again, we have lots of views, and I love doing castles like this. We're gonna go in there later, but not right now. We're gonna go ahead and go back down these stairs here. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way over here to this thing that usually pops up in all of my castles, this Dove Cove. It's a little different in design this time around, but yes, I love to add Dove Coves because, again, during a siege, when food is getting short, you know, we can rely on pigeons that maybe take the place of our meat in our diet. So gotta have a Dove Cove. And over here, of course, we have a well. Very important. We need our water source for our castle. Our life's water is here, and as you see, it pitches all the way down there. So if we move over here, we have this little arena area where our castle guards or knights can train and stay in shape and all that good stuff, because even during a time of peace where there's not much fighting, we wouldn't want our guards to get out of shape or, you know, not be able to do their job efficiently. So again, adding one of these here, Bailey, is very practical, and it makes lots of sense because, again, our knights and guards would need to stay in fighting condition to be able to defend the castle and fight for their lord. So over here we just have some logs, just wood, fuel. Our castle would need logs so we can burn, so we can cook food and, you know, heat our rooms up and such. So that's that. And over here we have this sort of a luxury kind of outdoor lodging area where our lady of the castle or the lord or maybe his children or whoever can come right here and get out of the sun and sit under this and just kind of relax and enjoy being outside, you know, get some fresh air and all that good stuff. So that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way over here, and I think we're gonna go ahead and check out over here first. Yeah, we're gonna go check out the chicken coop. And I didn't add any chickens because usually when I add chickens, they all get out and they run around all crazily, so I didn't add them this time. But as you can see, we do have eggs in there, so our castle does have a good supply of chicken eggs. And then we just have some chicken feed in the bags, or what I like to think is chicken feed, and some hay and just some other supplies for that area. And right here we have a barrel that may contain water or meat or beer or whatever, and it's just left right here. Someone didn't finish their job and put it away. So we're gonna go ahead and check out one of the first servant homes within the Bailey. So we have this little bench right here where they can sit and just relax. And if we go inside, we have this very, very modest dwelling where we just have a hay bed and a place to hang our garment, our outer garment, and just, you know, some simple table where we can maybe eat, and a chest just for some storage of our personal belongings. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way up these stairs to check out the upper quarters. And again, a couple of simple beds on the floor. We have a table here to eat at, and we have this brazier in the middle of the room, which acts as a light and acts as to help keep the room warm and stuff for our servants so they don't freeze out here. So that's it with that. Go ahead and close that door and make our way back down these stairs. So now we're gonna make our way over here to the barn where we keep our livestock. To be more specific, our pigs. And these pigs will be used for food. Would be really their only use. And as you see, it's really, really smelly in here. We have a little, I guess, a trough right there where you would put the pig slop or whatever you would feed them, and they would eat from there. And then over here, as you can see, we have some manure because maybe, you know, our stable hands are scooping it out to try to keep it moderately clean. But, you know, you only can keep it so clean when it's a barn for pigs. So, you know, and then we got some supply over here. And we got some beets, some food for the pigs. So, yeah, that's about it in here. That's our barn. And now we're going to make our way over here. And as you guys can see, we're at the Lord's stables. But before we check out the interiors of those, let's go ahead and check this out over here. We have some water troughs for our horses, our livestock, animals in general. And then we have plenty of stuff just around. Lots of supplies all strewed about. Again, these little details really tell a story. It really makes the build look alive, because it looks like there's things going on and jobs to be done and stuff to be taken care of and all that good jazz. So again, now we're going to go ahead and check out the interiors of the stable. So as you see, this is our first stable right here, and we have that thing where we would put our horses food and it can just eat from it. I actually tried to add horses to this also, but every time I added a horse, they would die, and I didn't know why it was doing it, so I just neglected to add them. But right here, this is where I would imagine they would, the groomsman would bring the Lord's horse, and he would brush them and reshoe them if it's needed, and just kind of get the horses ready for the knights and the Lord whenever they would need their horse. And then over here, we just have some more horse food and hay for the horses. And we just check out these little details that I add, little ropes hanging from the ceiling. It kind of just makes it look rustic and really gives it a really medieval Barney kind of feel, I think. So again, we have more places to hold our horses and just, you know, more supply and things that I guess looks like it would go inside of a stable. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that. That's our stables. And so now, last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and check out the guards barracks. And now the guards barracks is the whole bottom portion of this tower here. This whole bottom portion is where our guards store their weapons, equipment, where they sleep and eat. So right here we have a table, so you know they can eat outside. Maybe, you know, when they're on break, they can play some cards, and they also have a keg over here where they can have some beer and some water or whatever they may want to drink. So then when we go inside the barracks, we see we have a nice table here, so we can play some cards, take a load off from the day, chill, and you know, maybe booze, and we're not required to guard the wall. Here we have a table again, so our guards can have a place to eat their meals and be able to sit. And over here we have this fireplace. And now I use this design a lot through this particular build. It's such a effective design. I think it saves space, and it's easy to be able to cram one of these into a corner of a room, and it really looks good, I think. So yeah, as you can see, we have these stools sitting around the fire so our guards can sit down and just, you know, warm themselves on a cold night or a cold day or whatever it may be. We have some chests, some equipment around. You know, we have some lights to keep the room lit, and we have some beds, some simple hay beds here on the floor. I would imagine these beds would be the greenhorn beds. You know, the newly initiated guards would sleep here, and our veterans, knights and guards would be able to take the actual bunk beds and stuff like that. And as you see, we have some weapons, we have a chest for some storage, and again, we have lots of weapons around, because if this castle was to fall under attack, our guards can quickly grab a weapon and quickly run out to start to defend this castle. And so I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the guard barracks. Again, it's a place for them to rest, sleep, eat, as well as store their weapons and supplies. So that's pretty much it. And so that's all I have to show you guys for today's video. I hope you guys join me back here for part 2 of the tour, where we will check out the interiors of the castle. And let me tell you guys, I think they came out marvelously. I really wanted to capture the fact that this family may not have too much money yet to replaster their castle and to show off in that way, but they make up by really having lavish interiors and having something where they can invite their superiors, and with luxury rooms and dwellings, and really just show off in that way. So again, I hope you guys come on back for that. And as always, if you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to turn on that red notification bell so you don't miss any future content from this channel. Also guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. By doing so, your interactions with this video can really help this channel to grow. So please, like and drop a comment down below if you would like to help this channel in that way. This has been the Kinder Knight from Knightly Castle, and I bid you a farewell.